Hello, everyone. I hope you all enjoying this holiday 3-day weekend. So today I just want to talk about the topic of being an introvert and 3 tips that you can use in the workplace that can help you navigate in the business world. So what inspired me to talk about this topic is because I was on Facebook and I read an article titled "Black Girls Aren't Allowed to Be Introvert." And it generated a lot of conversation. Pretty much a lot of people was explaining that in the workplace that they are introvert, and a lot of people don't know how to perceive it when it's coming from Black women in particular, or any introvert. A lot of people have a misconception and don't really understand how an introverted person is. So just to get over some myths about introverts. Introverts are not antisocial, they're not shy, and they're not awkward. A lot of people associate the word introverted as being someone that is shy, or they associate it with being someone that is awkward or something like that. So those are just myths about introverts, or that they're antisocial, and that's not the case either. Introverts just enjoy spending time with themselves. Pretty much in a nutshell. You know what an extroverted person is. They're considered more the social butterflies. They have to have a lot of friends. Their energy source comes from being around a lot of people. They gain a lot of energy for that. Introverts, they're completely comfortable with having me time and being alone, and they don't feel alone while being alone. They pretty much rejuvenate that way. So I'm going to read an article here. Well, I'm not going to read the entire article. I'm just going to read a small piece. Okay, so from the article, Black Women Aren't Allowed to Be Introverted, is written by Sequoia Holmes. It was published on August 23rd, 2019. I'm not going to read the entire article. I'm going to leave the link in the description, so if you'd like to take a read for yourself, you're more than welcome. But I'm just going to read the introduction here. It reads, and it reads, "I don't think Sequoia likes me. It's something I've heard secondhand my entire life. And most times it isn't true. While the statement is annoying, it wasn't consequential until I became an adult in the workplace." So that's just a little bit introduction of the article. And she pretty much go into different examples of what take place in the workplace with her as being an introvert. So I'm just going to go straight into it and give you some tips on how to survive in the workplace as an introvert. And hopefully you don't have to experience some of those things that Miss Holmes experienced in the article that she wrote. Tip number 1. Go for non-customer service jobs. Customer service jobs can be very exhausting, and it requires a lot of energy because you're providing a service to someone. Most jobs do provide services, but customer service requires a lot of interaction with people, particularly public service jobs. These jobs can be anything like call centers, cashiers, bank tellers, help desks, police officers, anything that provides a form of public service and you have to interact with people can be very draining for an introvert. You should look for careers that deals with more so dealing with systems, a project manager, an accountant. And I know you're probably thinking those are higher level jobs, but you're going to have to invest in yourself so you can get careers that doesn't exhaust you, and you're mainly dealing with systems. So if you need to get additional certification, perhaps going back to school so you can gain knowledge, you're going to have to do that so you can have the required skills so you can stay away from those customer service jobs. Otherwise, without skills and degrees, you're always going to be subjected to those type of jobs. Tip number 2, lead the conversation with questions. And I think that is one of the most helpful tips that you can do as an introvert person, especially if you have coworkers that really like to talk, or you have a manager in particular that really like conversation and really just like to talk. Ask them questions and let them think they're leading the conversation, but pretty much you're steering the conversation the way you want it to go. Something as simple as you can ask them, how was their weekend? And while they're going through their whole spiel about their weekend, oh, I took my kids to band practice and yada, 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 and they're going for it. Then you can just follow up with another question. Oh, okay. What instrument does your child play in the band? And they're like, oh, they play the guitar, and they'll just go for it. And then once they're finished, you're like, oh, that's nice. Sound like a fun weekend. Really simple. Just something showing that you're engaging, but it's not requiring a lot from you. And I find that it works like a charm. I know a lot of times as an introvert, we don't tend to volunteer information about ourselves, and we can come across as very mysterious to some people. They have a hard time pinpointing what we're thinking or how we're feeling. So with that, just ask questions and you can pretty much lead the conversation. All right, tip number 3. Please make sure you take your lunch breaks and all scheduled breaks that you have. If you have a 30-minute and 2 15s, or if you have 1 hour, make sure you take those breaks. Those breaks are time for you to just rejuvenate for the moment and just to gather your thoughts. If you want to listen to an audiobook on your lunch break, or read a book, or scroll through social media, or watch a movie, do that. If possible, take your lunch break away from your desk, because sometimes people think if you're eating at your desk, you're still working or you're still available for conversation. So try to take it away from your desk. If you don't want to go in the break room and you need to have lunch in your car, that's fine. Do that. Do what you have to do to make sure that you can get rejuvenated before you go back to your desk. If possible, try to take it solo, where you can just have that time to yourself. Sometimes people like to eat lunch with other people. You may get caught in the hallway and someone may want to stop and go have lunch with you. Just tell them, oh, okay, I'll catch up with you in a few. I'm going to just go somewhere else for lunch. I'm going to go make a phone call. So I'm going to be in my car, and kind of make your way from that person so you can just have that time. From my experience, making sure I have solo lunch breaks, that really rejuvenates me. So by the time I'm back at my desk, I can get back at it again and get back in the mode of being a team player, so to speak. So I hope this helps anyone that's an introvert that's in the workplace. A lot of times, you can face unfair judgment of being mean, stuck up, antisocial. And that's not the case. It's just a lot of times introverts just spend more time in their head versus with other people. And we're completely okay with that. So hopefully this was some helpful tips. If you're someone that has an introvert in the work environment, now you know what's the case, and you'll know how to operate with them, and just understand that it's nothing against you. That's just how they are, and you just have to respect those boundaries. Hopefully this helped. I'm also going to leave a link in the description box for introverted teens. So if you have a child that's an introvert and you're not really sure what's taking place, or you don't really understand, there's a really good audio book that I'm going to leave the description to in my description box that you can take a look at. I hope this helps. Leave a comment in the comment section if you have any other tips or any questions about being an introvert. You can also find me on social media, mainly on Instagram. I'll leave my handle in there as well. Thanks for stopping by, and hope you have a good one. Bye.